Hi, Coach. Good to see you again.
I wish I could say the same for all of you. I see your smiling faces via Zoom all the time. So.
Yeah.
So you haven't changed the beard?
Nope. A little thicker now.
Yeah, a little grayer.
A little grayer. So are you. So are you. Good to get back out and kind of get full go again.
It is. This is just a really kind of awkward time. Meaning you come back and you got 20 or so, 25 days until your first game. It was good for us to kind of add another game, so it gives us something at least to kind of look at and make a week of in some ways. But it's still 17 days away and things like that. It's just a little bit of that difficult time, but it's good for us to be able to find a way to get into this routine back on campus with the school, with the online stuff, and how we're going to do things when we get to game week.
The Army game apparently came together really fast. Is there any part of that story you can tell on?
To be honest with you, that's way above me. I got a call. We were obviously looking, and they asked me, hey, would you guys be willing to play Army? I said, for sure. I think no matter what, these guys won't play. And I think, however we got to find a way to do it, whether it's Army, whether whoever it was, I know we were looking to find a way to get a game in. A lot of the teams in our league are going to play probably 2-3 games before we start the league, and we didn't want to feel like we were behind.
It was a couple years ago you guys were doing Navy prep like 3-4 months out, it felt like. Will that help you, or was that scary to know you had less time?
It allows you to give some focus to some things, for defense in particular. But just like anybody, just like the kids, just like the coaches, we need to have some things to focus on. And I think when you add another game, whether it's Army, whether it's Boston P, or whoever we could have got, it just gives you something else to focus on, to look forward to, as opposed to that idle time saying, okay, maybe we're going to play and then have another 2 weeks before we play another game. We like routines. We got to find a way to get into routines.
What did you see from Boston P the other night?
You know what? I haven't watched. I watched a little bit of the game. Obviously, they're athletic. They got some speed. They're going to be an entertaining group. They'll play Pitt again the following week here, so we'll see a little bit more about them. But more than anything, I just saw college football, and it kind of gave me a little burn in my stomach. I needed some anxiety for something to get ready for. So some of the things they did gave me some anxiety, and I feel like I'm in a lot better place when I got that.
How are you treating this stretch that you normally wouldn't have had coming back from camp? Like, when will it be a real game week?
No, not till about 10 days out. So at the end of kind of next week is kind of when we'll get into the mode. So we've got a little bit of a plan for how we're doing things. We're not trying to do too much. We're not doing nothing. So we're trying to more than anything get these guys into a routine of what it's going to be like when we're on campus. There's still a lot of protocols and things we got to do. So this has given us a great opportunity to kind of find a way to get those protocols down.
Is this maybe make up for what you missed in spring football in any way that you get these extra practices?
No, you never really looking to make things up. You think you're trying to use your time efficiently, and so it's uniquely different. Spring ball is a time for fundamentals and development and things like this. This is kind of in between. It's, hey, let's get focused on the things we got to do and kind of looking at opponents just to give them something a little bit different as opposed to fundamentals of spring or camp where you're truly preparing for a whole season. It's kind of somewhere in between.
You talked about the leadership of this group. Are you happy with how they've transitioned from camp back to campus and staying focused?
We still got a ways to go because we've still got some time, but I think that's what this time is really for, is to find out what kind of leadership we do have. And I don't just mean on the football field, I mean in the locker room. Not that we spend a lot of time in the locker room, but there's different sacrifices that we're expecting these guys to do. Is really kind of you've seen with the leadership.
What about on the field? Do you feel like position battles got decided pretty much at camp? Do you feel set now, or are there still some things you're looking at?
Yeah, I think with us we want to play 22 guys on each side of the football. I think gives you that opportunity to say, hey, we're going to play a lot of guys. How much? We'll see. We kind of say when we get to those 1As and 1Bs, then we feel like we can play 60-40 in some ways, maybe 50-50 in some. But I think a lot of those things have hopefully kind of been solidified.
Do you have to explain that to some of those guys? Like, you might not be out there for snap one, but you're going to be out there a
lot?
I
mean, we have those conversations, and we'll have them a lot more next week. Yeah. But I think that's where the program and the respect they got for each other is what's really key.
You mentioned leadership. How big of a role will Des play in these next few weeks?
It's huge. I mean, it's huge for all the leaders, but in particular, the defense got a little something different to focus on, meaning obviously uniqueness of playing some option stuff. The offense has kind of got a little bit of a different thing, and they got to kind of rely upon a lot more leadership because they don't have that specific, something that they're kind of working towards. So you're kind of counting on those coaches and a lot on, especially a guy like Desmond Ritter.
Looked like you were maybe running the scout team offense over there. You trying to take it to Marcus as much as you can?
Yeah, they're going to go up and get ripped a little bit for changing the calls that were on the cards. In particular, I got to have success, so I'm blocking up what they're running. They change things on me, doesn't make me very happy. So we got to have a little meeting here after this.
You're still putting Bolden to work too, even as an assistant.
He's definitely coaching a lot more with the option stuff, and he obviously did an unbelievable job last time, and we're counting on him to kind of be a guy that can time everything up and really help us out a lot.
You realize tomorrow you're supposed to play? Have you thought about that at all?
No, I haven't. I didn't realize that. Hindsight, I probably would say I wish we had decided Austin P to play when Pitt's playing him, and then he would have had a break, and then he'd have played, and then had a break and played. But just want to play.
Take what you can get right now.
Take what we can get.
Just a fun question. I met Chad Bowden last night, and he is insane. Can you talk about maybe his impact on this program, particularly as you're killing it on the recruiting trail?
I didn't know who he was 3 years ago. I just knew this guy who kept running around the offices, and whatever you asked for inside of like a minute and a half, he'd be there. It's hard to find guys with that kind of energy. We coupled him up with Pat Lambert, who was obviously played here and was GA for us for 2-3 years. Guys that are diehards for not just for our program but for this university. And when you have that kind of commitment level, it really it's seen. Obviously, they're energetic people in general, but their commitment to this university and this program goes far and above it.
Andy's insane.
Andy's insane.